Oh yeah.
All right, so we're good. We're recording. I tell you, like I tell everybody else, I don't edit nothing. So if you got something negative to say, it's out there, man, and we can't erase it. But I ain't worried about you, man. You're always you ain't nothing but full of respect. So
yeah,
Right.
I got no hate towards anybody.
right,
There we
right.
go. But in case anybody fucking forgot, this is well, to some people he's known as Puller H. To the rest of the world, he's known as Hunter motherfucking Noffz, the Carolina Killer. Well, wait a minute. Now the number one 154-pound arm wrestler in the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, hey Hunter, it's a super big privilege to have you on, man. I know this is a long time coming. We've been talking about it for a while, but thankful to have you on, bro.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me on here, man. It's an honor to get on here and talk some shit with y'all and chop it up.
Damn right. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
yeah.
you look absolutely impressive,
dude.
at the round robin.
I appreciate it, man. It means a lot.
It's insane.
Yeah, I wasn't even like so actually my top three were you winning it, and then I had Cody and Roman, which had actually worked out like that. And but I wasn't entirely sure about Cody, man. He was like my dark horse, you know what I'm saying? I know he trains his ass off, and I was like, but I'm glad he finished. I'm glad he finished good. But man, you just made it wasn't even really close. I mean, even when you and Roman were kind of in the wasn't even middle of the table, but whenever y'all were pulling and he did get the stop on you and stuff, it still never went past. You were never on the defensive, you know what I'm saying? So
it was never in the cards for it too either, bro. I felt him at and what I thought it was funny that people were talking about how the speed guys and stuff, and they were like, well, if they get into a war early on, they're kind of screwed. And I was like, bro, I pulled with Hunter, and this motherfucker never got off the table at practice, and he felt the same at the beginning as he did at the end. And I'm like, I'm not worried about endurance with him either. It's speed, endurance, all this stuff. Check.
Everybody kept saying I was nothing but speed. My endurance is trash. Blah blah blah. I loved hearing all of it. That's why, like I said, I hadn't pulled a tournament since last August, so I just kind of stayed behind closed doors and put my head down that way. When I popped out in May, it was time to showcase.
It was very similar to a fucking bear hibernating and coming out. You damn sure came out and shocked everybody. I mean, it wasn't a shock. I want to say, like, when you should have heard some of the people talking about, like, well, damn, Hunter's 154 pounds. I'm like, that's a big ass 154-pound dude right there, man. But man, it was crazy to see the and it's not your fault. Like, people talk about your endurance and stuff, but we've really never even seen you test it, man. Let's be honest. You have to be the most winningest out of prize money and trophies and stuff out of the past 2 years. I mean, in the Southeast, at least. I mean, every tournament I've seen for the past 2 years, you've won the class. If you've been there, you've won the class. I mean, you got a damn Harley and everything, dude. It's
yeah, that's probably one of the best trophies you can ask for right there.
Yes, sir. I thought I'd never see that again. I saw that in a Travis Bajent video one time, and I was like, that's badass, man. And then you won one. I'm like, this is a fucking dream come true.
That's right. Yeah, it was pretty badass, man. That was a day too.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that video of everybody with the keys. It was like, I think it was like one, maybe two people. Then like there was like the whole Carolina Chaos team. They all had keys, man, and I was just like,
there was 10 keys, and we had 8 of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was coming home to South Carolina.
That's right. I had 4 myself. I pulled 2 weight classes that day.
Yeah, 4 keys.
But no, that's what I was gonna say too, man. Just to go back to the whole endurance and speed, is you're what they've been calling like a Daniel overseas or something. You're just a weirdo, you know what I'm saying? Like you're fast as shit, but if the match stops, you got the power. and you got the endurance. Because I mean, I've seen you pull. I mean, that match with Kevin Palco, man. I mean, that was deep inside like the whole time, man. And you came back and won fourth round. You won the first round, lost to.
Yeah, I won the first and fourth round, and I ended up overall, like, I think it was 3-2.
I mean, so that should prove right there that really you have the endurance too. You know what I'm saying? And it's just you got the total package, man. And you know, I'm happy to call you a hooker, man. And
dude,
you know, not a sissy top roller.
That's
I gotta
right.
say also,
Bone on bone, power to power.
That's
damn right. Dude, it's and I gotta say that day also, man, it was crazy because I honestly I think it was more of like an aggression thing. I felt like if you were a little bit more aggressive and with him, he wouldn't have been able to hold you more. Like, what did you think was the issue that day?
I mean, you know, you can say numerous things or whatever, but I just a few mistakes I didn't capitalize on. I didn't do
for sure.
some of the things in the setups, whatever. But you know, sometimes when you take a loss like that, it makes you come back twice as hard. That's why after that, kind of had that, you know, that chip on my shoulder.
Yes, sir.
But my team was like, well, you took, you know what I'm saying? It kind of hurt your feelings. Any loss hurts your feelings like that. You know, you lose to a guy that's pretty well confident he was going to win. You keep that chip on your shoulder. It's like, now they pull me to the side. Like, now how bad do you want to win?
Exactly.
What you going to do about it?
It's a part of the formula, man. I remember like Shane and them saying that out there. Like it's almost a part of the formula. You don't want it to happen at all costs, but if it does happen, it's a part of the formula, man. You just throw it in there, and
it's part of the process. You can't get obsessed with the prize. You got to be in love with the process.
Yes, sir. Right.
No, I mean, you know, I recently lost a match that didn't even look close. You know, obviously I want to run that back in the future. In the future, but yeah, I mean, if I've noticed anything, just say since that match, is it ain't made me do anything except put my head down and not in a bad way, but put my head down and work.
Yep, back to the just capitalize on a few mistakes that you know personally or whatever. That's, you know, I can say that sometimes that's the best things a loss can teach you. You know, it's either gonna make or break you. And if you're a true athlete, you love competition, you'll come back twice as hard.
Oh yeah. And you go through every emotion through the process too.
And always stick to your fundamentals.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Hunter, I got a couple questions about the round robin, man. Who out of the whole thing, because everybody there, man, it was because there were certain people that did a lot better than I thought they would. I thought, like, I knew LeRae was good, man, and I had high hopes for Ray. LeRae really impressed me. And I'm glad that LeRae got that opportunity to pull, because he does so much for the community and stuff. But I think sometimes people forget how good LeRae is. And I think that really showed, dude. And like, I just hope LeRae keeps grinding like he is, because he's been being an animal. And LeRae surprised me. But I wanted to ask you who surprised you the most out of it, whether it was somebody you pulled or some, like, a match that you saw. Who surprised you the most?
Yeah, like LeRae, man, people they call him Lightning LeRae for a reason, and he may not be that big of a guy, but if he pops out on that hand in your fingers, you know, well, he will bust a hand back, and he proved that.
Yes, sir. He got me in Tennessee.
And but you know, in all honesty, I think the second strongest out of everybody had to be Cody. Like, far as raw power and pure strength, I think Cody was the second. I'm still a true believer. It should have been me and Cody in the finals.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Fuller R, whatever the fuck he wants to say, his little indirect ass message. At least be a fucking man about it. But anyways,
passive aggressive shit.
Me and Cody in the finals.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, I've had so many pictures sent to me, and I've seen even in your match. I've never seen if there was ever a picture that should go next to the word parallel pin, it's you and Cody's match with Roman. Dude's arm was like a fucking L, bro. It was down here. And I was like, how do you not call that a pin? And I mean, a lot of people can argue the angle that you saw from home, the picture and stuff doesn't show. But I mean, when somebody's arm, I mean, I don't care what angle it is, but when their elbow is planted and their arm is at a 90-degree angle, that to me, that's a parallel pin.
And you know, just like the match I lost with him on fouls, it is what it is. I got to pull him again. I know he knew what he felt when he grabbed me, and he knew what he felt the second time when he grabbed me as well. So
yeah, sir. I love the fact how like they were really going out of their way to make sure your elbow was.
Oh man, they had it out for me there. Now the first time, the very first foul I had with him, because I went back and watched the film. Now I did see my elbow pop up, and you know, it is what it is. But the second one, I ain't so sure. I only seen one angle from it, so I can't really say too much on it. But yeah, they was definitely on my head about my elbows that day.
But dude, there was time. I mean, it was almost like every time it happened, you would come back, and it was almost like I mean, it was the slowest. I've never seen Hunter Noffz like actually go through the motion, like each step. It was like catch, looking around, boom, look at that elbow, baby. I was like, you can't argue that, son.
I let a little motion out when they kept taking them elbow fouls. That's why I wouldn't leave the elbow off the pad till they fucking seen where it was.
Yeah, dude. I was like, well, but the thing was is that I throughout the whole round robin, I saw everybody, especially with the caliber of athletes that are there, and the lightweight guys. We're known for speed. Even if you're a lightweight guy that's not known for being fast, you're typically faster than a lot of bigger guys. And when you're moving that fast, like those little elbow fouls are going to happen. And I saw it happen throughout the whole round robin, but it seemed like they were really specifically focused on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I you know how I practice. We do a lot of ready goes, and my team's big on me. Like now, if I elbow foul, they tell me. Like even in practice, like keep it elbow. You know, redo it, do it again. Let's do it right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you guys definitely don't let like pulling, like wrong style pulling happen. Like if something wrong happens, it's addressed and it gets fixed, which I think played a big factor in why you were able to come. A lot of people wouldn't, when that happens, like back after back after back, a lot of people would get flustered and not be able to come back after that. It's like they would succumb to the moment. But dude, that just goes to show, like you and the team and everybody, like you was able to adjust and just it was easy for you.
Like I say, man, I got the best team on the face of planet Earth, and
absolutely.
Between each match, when I walked out from under that ribbon, they secured me, had me like swarming around in a circle, and wouldn't let nobody talk to me.
Yeah, man.
He was making sure my heart rate stayed down. You let your emotion out, but then once it's over with, and Chad was, hey, that match is over. Let's worry about the next one. Let's just stay focused. You know, and people would get to talking to me. They'd push me to the back of the crowd. They would surround me, wouldn't let nobody near me. They would just
damn right.
Stay focused. We came for one reason only.
Just a business trip, right?
Business trip. This ain't no vacation.
Damn right, bro. That's awesome, dude. And but anytime I see you pull anywhere or anybody from Carolina Chaos, that I see Chad, I see the whole crew. If they're right there. They're not in the back. They're right there where the action's happening, right next to you. I love that, man.
And all those guys, man, they drove 5-6 hours, you know, and none of those guys on my team that showed up stayed and pulled a tournament. They strictly showed up just to be in my corner. And man, like I said, I'm blessed. All my credit, my performance, anything I do, all my credit goes to them. I take the credit for going up every week and putting the work in, but the rest of it, you know, I wouldn't be the guy I am now without them on the arm wrestling table and off of it. Those guys, they mentor me more than just arm wrestling.
Dude, I love it, man. And back to what Ryan was saying, dude, like you're a weirdo. I think Travis Bajent said it the best.
Yeah.
Spartanburg, South Carolina, and
that's
Carolina
actually who I stole it from.
Yeah. You got like y'all just, it's something about it, man. Y'all just are a bunch of fucking weirdos, but in a good way, bro.
Yeah. See, Travis used to fly in, and Chad would pick him up at the airport back in the early 2000s, and Travis used to come down and stay with Chad for weekends at a time and train with him.
That's sick, man. See, that just goes to show. I mean, and the form, nobody can argue with that, right? I mean, and it's been this way for a while. I hate that it's just now finally coming to light, but Carolina Chaos is, and I'm saying this like with confidence. It's not a close second either. Carolina Chaos is the best team in the country.
And it's funny, with the Shane and Paul match, I seen on y'all's thing about the conversation about who the best team out of the Carolinas was. I see that conversation died off pretty quick, huh?
Oh yeah.
I guess that died off pretty quick is what I see.
Hey, quick.
Hey man.
Dude, I'm saying it's
that was impressive.
It's crazy that didn't even get to showcase. I don't even think it didn't even get to showcase half of what Shane's capable of right now.
Man, Shane Owens right now, dude, he's on another level. And mark my words, y'all heard it first here. By the end of this year or next year, when they all quit being little girls about it and actually accept the match with Shane, which I don't blame them, I wouldn't want to take it either. But when they do, Shane will be the top heavyweight in North America. Mark my words. Those guys, man, his work ethic and his dedication to this sport, man, in the past year and a half or so, this guy has been unbelievable. And I'm thankful to be able to train with a guy like that, his big hand, his big arm. I get to arm him for 2 or 3 hours. So when I go somewhere else, do a tournament or another practice, I'm like, man, this is like walk to the park.
Damn right. Yeah. And that's how Shane explains it to me. Like, and I mean, you realize that after you go there like one time, like, damn, if you do this week after week after week, when you go to a tournament or for a match, it's like you are totally prepared for battle, man. Like,
and when you're preparing for a match, those little week or 2 week we take off practice, man, that's a break. We're like relax for a little bit. I get the hill up. It's like you unshackling chains and the pressure off. Now the training's done. Now it's like now I get to go. I feel relieved now. I get to rest a minute and go do what I do.
Damn right.
Those guys, the whole training camp, if they know you're serious and you really want to prepare for something, I mean, it's like a fight camp. You got 9, 10, 15 weeks, however long it is training, and they're going to be dial hard, put all their time in. They all show up to practice, not it better themselves. If they know you got something big coming up, they're all showing up for you, let's circle you out. Let's focus on, and I love that.
See, that's another fucking thing that when I was there, man, it was like, it was everybody on the team. It was like, what do you got coming up? We need to work on that. Like, I love that, dude. And also, like, back to how hard you guys work. I came the day after a super match, regardless. But dude, there's a bathroom where these guys train at, like 10 feet from there. I was going to the bathroom 30 yards away on purpose so I could fucking like sulk in my own misery. Walk there.
Dude, that's like the Carolina Chaos practice. Like, even if you're somewhat fresh, man, I mean, it's not somewhere you want to go a day after a tournament.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though. Like, it's I mean, it's brutal, man. But honestly, it's a ball check, dude. It's like, where the fuck are you really at? Like, if you want to do this is what you got to do, and it makes you realize, like, I was going around telling people I'm busting my ass training, and then I start training with these guys, and I'm like, I wasn't training.
Man, I love going there. Because kind of in my current situation, it's no disrespect to my team, but when you're the strongest, you can't exactly go in there and just bang on anybody in red line.
Yeah.
So it's always nice, man, to go in there and just overexert and destroy your central nervous system.
Exactly.
And get all that reset. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing some thinking, so I might have to travel up to Spartanburg here about it.
And both y'all know y'all welcome anytime. And those guys, when they all pull each other, they get damn good work. But in my opinion, I feel like I have the biggest advantage as far as out of our top guys. I have the biggest advantage because their hands are so much bigger. They're more powerful to me. So like, I feel like I
You
can
gain
get
so
more out of-
much.
I'm one of the smallest guys, so I get more time grinding and getting stronger, you know.
Yeah. But you know what's funny about that is everybody on your team says that motherfucker's the hardest to pull. Everybody says it. Not even just people on your team. Everybody. David Redmond. David Redmond said that's the hardest person that's ever hit into my hand, heavyweight or anybody. Like I hear it all the time. Like they're like Hunter is the hardest like person to try. Like he's just you got power, man. It's just everywhere.
It says fuck it, full send or no send.
I love it, bro.
Nah,
It's
man,
crazy.
I've pulled you in in practice and stuff, but we pulled one time in an overall at Ladson.
Yeah, Ladson. Yeah, about 2 years.
And I remember that, man. I knew you were fast as hell, and I think we went about the same time. But as I went to pull through you, man, it was just a lot there. There's a lot of dudes in my weight. I don't feel that with.
No, dude, it's crazy.
They called me and Ryan up there. He came down to us in the overalls. He didn't beat everybody else. I was like, oh, maybe he's got a little tired. Man, I fired off on him, and it was like hitting a freaking brick wall.
Bro, I get that feeling all the time, man. I'm like, fuck. It's crazy. But
Well, I'm trying.
Go ahead,
I'm
Ryan.
trying to get there, man. No, I was just saying I'm trying to get there. I definitely got work to do. I got a super match too, June 3rd
At Carnage.
Yeah, Ryan Carter.
Okay.
He's a 220. Yeah. What happened is Michael Bianchi went down the whole 198 list trying to get me a match. You know, everybody besides Robbie, who I just pulled, and besides Adam, I've pulled Adam enough over the past 3 years, man. If I don't pull him for a year, you know, it won't be too soon. You know what I'm saying? But we went down the whole list, try to get Noel Nunez and John Theory and all the other guys, and nobody wanted to. And I was like, screw it, man, go down the 220 list. And he started going down the 220 list, and then Ryan Carter was the only one that wanted to do it. And so, you know, I don't know much about him. I know he's like a 6'5", 6'4" or something, I think. Tall, lanky, kind of built like Michael Bianchi.
Yeah.
Top roller. So I'm not the easiest guy to top roll. So
no, definitely. Last time I pulled you when we was down at Adam's house, I tried to hit outside your hand. That was a big no.
His hand is insane.
So hopefully it works out, man.
Yeah, and somebody doesn't is Gage's super match with him is the same day also, right? Gage has a left-handed super match with him.
Yeah, that's right. I knew I heard that name from somewhere. I think that is the same guy.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Gage had messaged me and forget exactly what he said. He's like, whatever. And I ended up he wanted the match. And I was like, well, I'll see if I can set it up. You know, I just talked to Michael Bianchi, and he was like, and they were cool to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a huge opportunity for Gage, man. Gage is
I mean, Ryan's like he's nationally ranked. He's had some wins on some big names, and all I know is for me, I mean, he better have some power, man, because I mean, dude, I'm like 225 right now, and I ain't been this big in a while.
You're a powerful arm wrestler. You're well on your way.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there.
Get in the time when you pull guys like Adam and Robbie, but man, you can't base everything off that. When you get out there and actually show other people man, you're well on your way. I felt it. Our team felt it. We know Chad talks good about you as well, man.
Oh, yeah.
You should take part,
dude. I love Chad, man. He's he was at my first tournament ever in Myrtle Beach, 2018, I think. Yeah, 2018. And I knew who he was right off the jump. I was like, yo, that's Chad Silvers. And I went over and talked to him, man. Cool, man. I was like, dude, love you, man. Like, you're awesome. I've seen a lot of your videos, you know what I'm saying? And really ever since then, man, like every time I see him, if I don't see him first, he'll come up and talk to me. And he's just super cool guy, man.
And that's probably one of the most laid back, cool, calm, collected guy that you can run across.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I wish I could be a little more like that. You know, like when I talk to him, I tell him all the time. He tells me, you know, let your emotions out at the right time. You know, and I always take words from a wise man. You know, I told myself I'm still young and wild right now, so
Yeah.
been in the game a long time. Anytime they speak, my mouth's closed and it's yes sir, no sir.
Yeah.
Like a sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a little fanboy story about Chad too. The first time I ever came to a arm wrestling tournament was you and Joe Rogers for the left-handed title in 2020 on Ladson.
Yeah.
Hunter and Joe Rogers. That was my first. I've been following arm wrestling for a long time. Never been on an arm wrestling table. I'd been talking to Kirkland for a long time, and he told me to come to this event. I came and watched y'all's match. Well, I had stayed. I was living far away at the time, and I had stayed at the hotel, you know, right across the street from the Honky Tonk Saloon. Well, Chad was staying there also, and before this, I had watched a bunch of matches or like videos on Chad. So I was in the hotel, and I'm getting off the elevator, and Chad is right in front of the elevator when I get off, right? And I'm starstruck, dude. I'm just like, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I let him by me, right? And I see like he passes me and he has silvers on the back of his shirt. Door closes. I never get to say anything. I look at Brittany and I'm like, that's Chad fucking Silvers. She goes, who's that? I was like, a fucking legend. I was like, but damn, he's a lot bigger than the videos I watched. Because all the videos I watched before that was like him at like 135, 150 pounds. And to see this version of Chad, I was like, holy shit.
That dude's arms are bigger than most people's legs, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Brittany thought he was a bodybuilder.
They're not bigger than my legs, but they're bigger than most people's legs.
This is retarded.
If you look at him, you think he was 250 pounds.
Yeah, like Chad, dude, he's beefed up, man. I'm like, every time I'm by him, like I can't stand right beside Chad because like my testosterone starts to drop. I'm like a dog. I'm like, my tail just goes between my leg. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand over here a little bit. He's huge, bro. He came over there, like the first practice I was at, my brachialis was so swole up. Chad comes over there and starts like pushing on it, and he was like, yeah, these things are tender. And the whole time I'm like not even worried about my arm. I'm just looking at Chad's fucking bicep, and I'm like, this dude could rip my arm out of socket if he wanted to right now.
His arm's bigger than both my biceps put together.
Yeah, it's insane. It looks Photoshop, but in real life, you're like, I know I'm not looking at a picture, but
that's why, like I say, anytime he talks, I'm like a student in a math class. I'm listening. If he recommends anything, you know, I message him all during the week. I keep in contact with him days out of 3-4 days out of 7, just to ask like anything you recommend me doing or whatever. Or if he asks how many wrist curls I do, and I tell him, if I say 200 or 300, he's like, I was thinking more like 5 or 6. You know.
There we go. Damn.
And I love that, man. Cause then I'm like, well, damn, let me go to the living room, start doing more. I don't want to disappoint him. I want to.
Yeah. See, and I'm the same way. Like I'm 34, man, going on 35, but it's like I've always responded well to like just guys that I have a lot of respect for. Like if they just say something to me, it just motivates me so well, dude. I'm like, especially somebody like Chad, you know, like, and the way Chad's approach is to everything, it's not like mean or anything in a way, but he has a way of like making you really want to try hard, man.
He's a straightforward guy, and he don't beat around the bush, and
that's the best thing about it too.
And he's, you know what I'm saying, if you ask him, you know, he's gonna tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. I mean, that's what you need. You need somebody hardcore and old school. If you want to be the best at something, you got to train with the best. You got to circle out and cancel out people that's not helping you. If they're not helping you towards your goal or doing anything or sticking their neck out to make sure you're right, you're not going to succeed and level up having those type of people in your life. You got to have people that's there for you, want the best for you, and actually know what
Absolutely.
they're talking about, not just talking out the side of their neck like a lot of these YouTube videos you see on stuff.
Yeah.
But when I first got into it, I see all these workout side pressure lifts, and I try to do them during the week and go to practice in Spartanburg. I'm like, dude, I cannot do this shit. This is going to set me back more, you know.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's better to have somebody up close and personal when you ask and talk. They're willing to help you. They actually know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, because he's been through it all.
He's been
Like
competitive and top of every weight class he ever competed in. He's been top dog for well over 30, 35 years. Most people hadn't even worked a job that long.
Yeah. See, right. If arm wrestling had like money into it, Chad could retire from it.
Oh yeah,
like, he's been doing it so long.
dude, we need that.
Crazy.
I heard that they need to get like that's who needs to go overseas.
They need to get him and Engen to pull.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Or, you know
I like that, bro.
Chad Silvers and Engen, 185, 190. I think that pull of the legends, the battle of the legends.
Well, I mean, you got all these guys that are allowed to go, like a pass free. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to prove themselves in a super match or whatever, and they just get the invite because of their reputation.
Damn right.
I don't see how he hasn't been invited. Like him, and even like another guy in a similar weight class. I think he's a little bigger now. And I know Adam destroyed him, but like Brent Rockers, I mean, like these guys have all been kind of like have been like the staple. It's been like the staple of like United States or North American arm wrestling, man. And I think a lot. Chad definitely needs to get an invite, and there's a few others too.
Well, after Engen spanks Coach Ray, I mean, if he wants a real challenge, man, with Mr. Chad Silvers is ready to go, son.
And Chad, he's about that life. It's arm wrestling. He's about it.
Hey, and I'm telling, there might be a reason they didn't ask Chad already. Chad went over there with Adam last time. They might have gripped up with Chad and said, "Fuck this,
dude." The last
you can come back with your team, but we ain't pulling you.
Nah, man. The last time they saw Chad was probably in early 2000s or something. I think was the last time I remember seeing him, at least in a video overseas. And he was probably like,
this Chad ate that Chad.
What was he, 176 then, or?
Yeah, I think he went. He went for so long at 176 pounds. He beat everybody in America, overseas. Then it just got where he couldn't find a match, and he got to where more money was in the 98s and 200s. So it was like, well, hell, let's start eating and go up to the 98s, and I'll be damned if he go take it over too.
That's what I'm saying, man. They saw Chad walk in with Adam, and they're like, "Oh, hell no!"
It's a very scary thought to know that Chad could very much make 176s still.
He said for the right price, he could probably do it again.
Bro, I'd fucking pay to get out of that class. I'd be like, hey, I pay 30 to pull. I'll pay you 30 to take me out.
my second tournament ever. I think it was in the 220 class. Like Fritz Corey was there, and Adam was there, but it was before Adam was pulling with Chad. And I think 2019. It was probably right before he started training with Chad. And my first match of the day, they call Ryan Bellinger, Chad Silvers. I was like, oh God. And it was like ready to go. Bam. I was like, damn, did you even say go? That is crazy.
Me and Adam started training with them like towards the end of 2019. Right after the pull of 2019 is when I think Adam went up there like a month or two before I did, and I found out that I didn't even know they was from South Carolina. That was like my second, third tournament in 2019, pulling the mountains in Georgia. And Joe Rogers actually came up to me from North Carolina. He was like, "Yeah, man, they're from South Carolina or whatever." I got to talk to him like, "Yeah, man, we're in Spartanburg." I'm like, "Holy shit, it's like 45 minutes from me." I found
Damn
out
right.
I came over then. I never left. Once I went, I never stopped coming.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Joe Rogers. You know how many fucking second and third place trophies I have because of this guy right here? Like every fucking trophy I have that's not first place is because of that dude right there. Every fucking one of them.
I could say that about a lot of guys on his team. Chad, Adam, Shane. I mean,
if somebody were to have, like, in 10 years from now, if somebody were to come over and like look at my trophies and they ask me like, what comes to mind when you look at these trophies? I'm like, I lost that one, the hunter, and all my matches with them lasted 14 seconds total.
14
yeah,
seconds.
I pulled you 8 times,
matches.
and I think we don't even have 10 seconds worth of pulling. I swear to God.
Donnie, you're on your way too, man. You just keep your head down, keep grinding. I pulled you, right before I went to the round robin that practice, you came up, man. You gotten thick. You put on some weight too.
Hey man, like you said, it's that cornbread, baby. I'm just following in your footsteps, dude. I'm telling you what. I'm just gonna being consistent. My main goal is being consistent with you guys at least minimum twice a month right now. Like, of course, getting out there every week. But dude, I learned so much coming out there that, like, when I have, and dude, it's crazy. And to pull to watch everybody, it's like a dance with you guys. Like, everybody knows what's happening, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's fluid. And what I wanted to say earlier was that when it comes down to it, it's like, you guys are professionals, man, like through and through about everything. And that's what it takes. I've been a firm believer in that. And that's why, like, I've said this since day one. That's why I love every single one of you guys. And I respect all of y'all. Like, you guys are people that live by a code, man. And I'm the same way. And I believe that's very important. And it transfers over as an athlete,
That's
having that mindset and having that group of guys around you that live the same way and have the same morals and the same mindset on everything. And it's just, it's a real fun thing to see, and it's a pleasure to be a part of when you're out there. So
that's like
I appreciate the good words too, man.
I talked with that guy Mike Williamson on Redline Armwrestling last night. And he was trying his hardest to talk me into going to Michigan State. It's next week. Well, and I told him, I said, yeah, I heard about it. I heard that's a pretty big tournament last year. I think it was one of the biggest that was put on in North America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I said, I'd like to, but, even if I don't pull next weekend, I'm going to Carolina Carnage. That's where my team's going. I said, these guys travel to don't even pull tournaments. They just, if I have something big on, they show up, support me, congratulate me, they pack up, go home. I said, so I always show the same love, even if I don't. Right. I'm not going to be that guy to go to a whole other state without my team. If they're going to Carolina Carnage, we won. And when I tell people, like, we're ride or die, those guys are literally ride or die. And
for sure.
Off the table in your everyday life, man, it's, it becomes a brotherhood, and I'm very thankful for that.
That's awesome, man. What does the Carolina Killer got coming up, dude? Do you have anything lined up already? Because I mean, let's be honest. I think it's about time somebody, like, comes to you.
Yeah.
Well,
I think your days of fucking going out there and chasing shit are done, man. I mean, you've proved yourself enough. Yeah, that's done, man. And speaking of East versus West, like, you're one of the most decorated lightweights, if not the most decorated lightweight out there right now. So,
I ain't really headhunting nobody. I set my goal to go to that tournament last weekend. I reached it, but I'm gonna keep grinding. So I was kind of trying to stir a pot last night when I was talking on the other thing, just so I fear no man. Any man wants to call me out, I'm not a hard man to find. I don't hide from anything. And I said, like I told him in the press conference, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So I'm gonna just keep my head down, keep grinding, try to get back healthy. You know, elbow's a little beat up. It may not look like it took much, but my elbow did banging inside like that, 12 action.
Yeah.
But that way, if somebody wants to make a little slick comment or shoot me a message, hey, all you gotta do is location, or matter of fact, just come to me. You know, whatever they. Right. I'm up for traveling. Money talks, and nobody lighter weights wants to pull. I got no problem moving up a little bit. I'm a little heavier now, but I can still make 54s and 76.
Damn right.
Hey, like I say, money talks. We had a guy message Adam. Adam sent me a screenshot the other day. I ain't gonna say no names yet, but he was on the East versus West card from America. He sent Adam a message asking about meet me at 76. So we might have to see what he's talking about if nobody else is.
I think I know.
Yes, sir.
I have a feeling I know who you're talking about, but
hey, and let's be honest, like what there's if I'm sitting here thinking of somebody like for Hunter who you have a win on Alan Fisher, correct?
I beat him left-handed. I pulled him one time right-handed, but beat me in the finals like 2 years ago. But that's 2 years ago.
That's not even. That's like you were a killer then, but
more horses than to hear me now.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, I want to see you pull my teammate again. Remember Tim Smith?
Tim, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to. I know you've progressed a lot since then. And he actually he's just back to training for about the past 6 months.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago, like January of 2020. I met him in the finals at the Carnage, and hell, he smashed me. I didn't have nothing for him, man. That was like my first year competing at the big level, you know. And I didn't have nothing for him then, man. He was a freaking tank that day.
Well, it's his hit, man. His hit is if I ain't real careful with practice, man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he'll just throw me to the pad. Like if I'm just trying to catch or not, not come in. Yeah, I mean, he'll blast right through me. But
this is the same Tim Smith. I think I pulled Tim Smith at one of Nick's tournaments. Lightweight Tim Smith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled not too long ago at the he pulled and he lost to Dalton Bumgarner just recent, like within the past year. Carnage, yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's the thing.
I pulled Tim February of 2021. I had no idea who he was. He went up there and like nobody warned me or anything, bro. I get up there and smoked my ass. I walk away from the table. James Sperling grabs me by my shoulder. He's like, how does it feel to pull like an elite arm wrestler? I was like, I don't even know who he is. He told me who he was. I looked him up. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. I've trained with him pretty much since day one.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he lost to Dalton Bumgarner. I remember that. And that's the battle of speed.
Yeah.
With them. But yeah, I mean, I would just like to see it. I know you'd like to. I mean, I don't know if you still think about, that loss to him, but I remember everybody I lose to, and I've came back through and I've beaten some guys that I lost to my first year or first year and a half and stuff, and I've redeemed myself a few times. I haven't got Adam yet, but
Yeah, your losses are always there. I try not to dwell on the past. To keep moving forward. That way, if that day when I do cross paths with guys that I have took a loss to when I first started out, I'll be prepared the next time. But I'm up for anything. Like I said, I'm not really headhunting nobody.
Exactly.
I prove my point, but like I say, money talks. And if somebody wants to make some slick comments or slide in my DMs, hey, like I said, I ain't a hard guy to find, and I damn sure ain't hiding.
Oh, man, damn right. Look at this guy right here.
Oh shit!
That's the real. That Cujo.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, I really have to ask your opinion about this. Like, I find it very funny how Puller R doesn't want to have a super match now, but he wanted one after the round robin. Like, what? How do you like? And I hate to bring it up. Like, I'm not trying to stir drama up or like focus on like stuff like that, but
You know what?
like, dang, dude, it's like when you're at the top for so long.
You know what I got out of it? Hey, like I said, you want to send a message, be direct, say it with your chest.
Yeah, like I didn't understand that whole thing at all, and like he was really like making himself look bad. I'm like, dude, it makes no sense to me why you like why are you hurt about that? And I'm gonna tell you, like, the same situation happened to me. And Larray was the one over the round. Well, he wasn't over it. It was at Redmond's event, but Larray was helping, and that's how Larray does all of his round robins like that. It came to the end of the round robin. I had went through the whole round robin with no losses, and Redmond had one loss to me. And it came down to me and him pulling for the whole thing. He had to beat me twice, I only had to beat him once. Well, they offered me a best of 5. I said, fuck no. I was like, why? When like based on the rules, all I got to do is beat him once. So, and you want me to go for a best pull at least minimum 2 more extra times?
Well,
no,
see,
I'll do the best.
When this thing was set out, it's 12. You got 11 matches. Whoever has the best record at the end wins, right?
Yes.
Puller fucking H went 11-1, and whoever the fuck that other guy is went 10-2.
Exactly. I don't understand that. That's the same thing that kind of went with me at the end of the round robin. I went with no losses with a win to the person who was in second, and then I get offered a best of 5. I was like, I felt a couple people were a little bit upset when I did the same thing, but I'm like, guys, I'm not an idiot. Like, I may be cocky and I may have an ego, but I'm not a fucking idiot, you know?
Yeah, like I said, I talk jump with the best of them. I cut up, but I'm one of the most respectful guys. But if you to go online and write this long post and clarify a loss.
Yeah. And to go as far as you do, as far as like putting the first letter to shit.
He tried to say I was the one talking trash or whatever, but I'm like, well, everything I said was a fucking fact.
There we go.
So
say, hey, and to a lot of people, facts are too hard to handle.
Hey, they can take it how they want, because it should have been me and Cody in the finals. So he got lucky putting in 3rd or 4th.
Exactly, man. And to be honest with you, like, I'd rather see the fucking over any match. I'd rather see the Cody and Hunter match. When they called you two to up there, bro, that whole place went boom.
Dude, so check this out. So I was standing there to the side. Larray's dad and a few of my people was in the huddle, you know. Well, Cody's people was standing about 20 foot from us. Larray's dad was over there, and he was chirping. He was barking. He said, I got money on Hunter. It was like right at $300 in side bets in the crowd on mine and Cody's match. So when me and Cody went to the table, man, that was like the most hype match of the evening. Everybody,
yes, sir.
After our match, I walked up under the ribbon. Dude, I had $100 and $20 bills. People were handing me like, here you go. I didn't even realize people were seriously betting like that, you know.
Damn, son. Damn. Oh, I loved your comment too, dude. He was like, shit, he's like, money talks. Like, my shit's done been set in stone. He's like, I got a house payment and steak, baby. I was like,
steaks and beer,
I love this dude.
I show up like me and my team, we show up, cause chaos, and we'll let them settle out the ranks however they want. I got paid, so he can say what he wants. But
I mean, and dude, it's so like, how do you really beat a man like that? That he's not worried about ranks. He just comes and handles business and fucking walks away with your pants around your fucking ankles and your thumb up your ass, and you're like, fuck.
You know, I wasn't gonna be this guy until I seen all that social media talk or whatever. He knows who the fucking king is now.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't gonna be that guy, but looks like I am.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's well deserved, man. And I gotta say, the overall consensus on Facebook is, I mean, everybody knew Hunter was the man. I mean, it was just a matter of time. And shout out to LeRae for putting this on. This,
Hey,
man, I couldn't.
LeRae's
Go
my
ahead.
dog. And that's a really good dude. Like I said last
Yes,
night,
sir.
yes, man. If you got a problem with LeRae or don't like LeRae, man, you need to reevaluate yourself. That's one of the most
Yeah.
laid back, genuine guy you could probably meet. If you don't like him, you need to check yourself.
Exactly, man. By far one of the best guys I've met in my journey through the sport. But shouts out to him, dude, because there was some discrepancy in this weight category, man. Like,
Yeah,
to
man.
have you and Cody at 7 and 5 or whatever y'all were at, I'm like, and don't get me wrong, Palco is still a great puller. And regardless if you pulled the arm wars before, I mean, it just goes to show, like, you've got to get the best guys together.
I want to talk about Palco too, because man, he didn't perform the best, whatever, blah blah. And he did that super match beforehand. But that man, he never complained. He never made one.
Yes, sir.
Listen, he was respectful. He shook hands. I talked to him after the event for 5-10 minutes. Just talked to him. We just cutting up, whatever. Man, he was respect. He didn't make not one excuse. He could have said a million excuses. He pulled a week ago. He had a war. Blah blah blah. And everybody's online talking about like, oh, he did this and that. But guess what? That didn't come out of his mouth. So
no, not at all.
I think that man, he never had one bad thing to say the whole day.
That's awesome. Yeah, shot me big props to Palco for that, man. Like, I gained a lot of respect. I didn't really think about it till you brought it up, but like I haven't heard anything from him other than like congratulations to other athletes and everything. Like, that's a champ. That's a true champion right there to me. I mean, it takes more than just wins.
And I never pulled or even met over half of those guys in person before. Man, that's some of the best guys I met. Man, there's some cool cats I met. I sat around and talked with them before the tournament, before the press conference, after the tournament, everything cut up. Man, all cool, respectful. We all just sat around, talk junk or whatever. It was a cool event. Like, I got to meet new people, got to grab some new hands, and
yeah, man. It was a win-win regardless for everybody.
I got no hate towards anybody. It is what it is. But it all got laid out. Like I said in the press conference, it'll be no talking. It'll be all laid out on the table, and the best man will take it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't lie about the result, man. So you're right about that.
And it's an aggressive sport, there's a lot of testosterone there, it is,
and a lot of people don't understand that.
So when you take a win or you get in the match or you setting up, there's a little junk talking. It's a little there's some energy in there, but at the end of the day, after every match, there ain't no hate there. It's all love and respect. But what makes it interesting, you got to be aggressive, because you come in there and you're not aggressive, at least against me, I got you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, if you don't come in at least trying to match what you're giving off, you've already won.
Like, I like you, but when he says go, I'm flying 100 mile an hour.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to put that fucking hand through that pad.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels.
And once it's said and done, hey, man, I'll go buy you a beer. Let's go talk some shit.
Yes, sir. Right. That's super.
I'm trying to think of the guy's name, and I might be wrong, but I was impressed with his hooking. Was it Dylan Burns, maybe?
The smaller guy, yeah.
So, but I noticed, I think it was him. But anyway, I noticed, man, when he would get in there and hook, he was so deep, so committed, and so tight, and he was real sticky right there. And I saw him tie a few guys up, man, and he didn't hook the whole time, but when he threw that hook in there, man, I was like, yeah, that's how you hook. That's a good looking hook right there.
He's very. Yeah. See, his dad, Wayne Burns, man, he's a legend in the sport. And Chad talks highly about his dad. Back in like the early 90s, Chad and Wayne, Dylan's dad, traveled to like Israel for worlds and stuff way back. Yeah, his dad's got like multiple world titles and stuff. So I knew, and man, Dylan came in and weighed in at 144 pounds, And I've seen a little footage of him, but you can't always go off of footage. So I knew he was going to be quick and explosive, and I seen him.
Yeah,
he had a fast top, but he'd also dive in that hook too. So when I was sitting up, was a little tricky. So he's got a strong hand. I felt it when we was gripping up. You know, that's why he side with me. I'm like, okay, that's where I wanted it to go.
Oh yeah. But I'll say this, man, like your hand has never been no joke. But the last time I pulled you, that motherfucker was, son, that thing has gotten big too, dude. It's thick.
I never, the last, 2.5 months, I never really trained diving into a hook at practice because my elbow was a little beat up. So I really just worked, my back pressure and my hand just so I would have an extra trick up my sleeve. So if I did dive in with somebody, because you got one foul to give. If I dived in with somebody, hell, I'd take my foul to get a restart. We're trying to pop out on their hand. But after the first couple matches, like Chad told me, he said, man, everything's working. Don't change a damn thing. Just keep doing what you do.
Yeah, right. I love it. Damn.
And it was just, yes, sir.
Right.
And we went, me and Roman had that pull off, he said, okay, now's your time. This is the gut check. How bad you want it now? This is your opportunity. I said, yes, sir. It almost gave me cold chills because he looked me dead in my eye when he told me that. I said, yes, sir. It's time to shine now.
Bro, you gave me chills. I was like, damn, I just wish I was like right there beside him. Damn, man, that's great, dude. I need that. Imagine what you were feeling.
I need that in my life, man. And I'm being like dead serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I've been talking. Yeah, I've talked about it a couple times about maybe going up your way permanently, but yeah, I need a little bit of that in my life because I mean, it's like you said, man. Iron sharpens iron, and for me, the guys that you train with and all that, they go and support you. You're not at events by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not traveling alone all the time, and you have somebody in your corner. I mean, it's just like your team's there. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
And man,
that's the consistency.
Adam, man, he's Charleston, like Somerville. So he drives to Spartanburg every single Sunday. That's why we started the thing. So the first Sunday of every month, we return because Adam drives 3 hours every week. That's 6 hours travel time. He shows up, pulls for 3 or 4 hours, turns around, drives back home, and he still got to get up and go to work next day. So we all agreed. So the first Sunday every month, we go travel to Adam just to return the favor to him for traveling to us, and him. That's 6 hours traveling time every Sunday he does. That's what you call dedication. And shout out to Adam for that, man. And we're blessed to have somebody like him and that enormous hand he's got.
Yeah.
That's a fucking Rawlings baseball mitt.
Yeah, that's like a catcher's mitt.
Yeah, bro. Like the first time I ever grabbed Adam's hand, that's the first thing that came to mind. I was like, damn, this is like the first time I ever grabbed a catcher's mitt. It was,
but dude, every time I pull him, it's getting thicker. Like his thumb pad is getting thicker.
Man,
that's crazy.
Thumb muscle is my forearm.
Dude, I'm telling you. Like I used to feel pretty comfortable gripping his hand because I don't have a huge hand, but I've noticed that his thumb pad is just getting, I gripping him like more each time. I'm like, damn. I'm like, dude, your thumb pad is getting huge.
His hand reminds me of one of them turkeys I used to make with the rubber gloves as a kid.
Yeah.
Imagine him in a slap competition, bro. He slapped the bottom of your chin and the top of your head at the same one swoop.
You look like you got shot with buckshot.
That's a broke neck waiting to happen.
Yes, right. Yeah. They would like ban him after the first event. They'd be like, "Yeah, you broke 2 guys' necks, man. We're gonna call it a wrap on that."
With me being a lot smaller guy, with Chad's hands the same way. It's like a freaking steel bar. When I grab him, Shane, and Adam, and I get out somewhere different, and I grab another guy around my waist with a normal size hand, I'm like, oh, I feel like I actually got something now. This feels good.
This is amazing. Yeah. Everybody at Carolina Chaos is so rigid. Like you were saying, it's like grabbing steel bars. I'm like, is this a human? I'm like, when are you guys going to tell me you guys are all fucking androids? Like, there's metal under the skin. Like, that everybody's so rigid and just like their hands are so fucking crazy strong.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest difference too, with that ET guy that came from California. He was saying these Southeast like guys over here on the East Coast ain't no joke, man. It's that country strong.
Bro, I told him before. I told him it was either before the match or after the match, and I was just like, "You're gonna find out," or I think it was before the match. I said, "You're gonna find out." I was like, "The Southeast right here, we all power, son." And
that's it.
So a comment was brought up last night when I was talking to that guy Mike. They said, set up Hunter versus the Whisper, Adam versus Dallas, and Shane versus Derek, the South versus Cali.
Adam versus Dallas. I'm sorry,
dude. I'm sorry.
I mean,
that's a 3-0, man.
Yeah. Hey, tell them whatever money they want.
It's a 3-0 for.
That was like a 9-0.
Or a 9-0, yeah. Yeah.
That's a quick 9-piece. Yeah, y'all go there and get that fucking Cali money.
I hope one of them sees this video.
Bro.
What's that?
I want to see like Shane and Austin Jaggers.
He turned it down. Shane tried. In their defense, Shane got turned down like 9-10 matches in a row. Paul Walter one that agreed to finally do it. But I got to thinking like, man, in their defense, I don't fucking blame them.
Yeah.
But like I say, by the end of this year, beginning of next year, Shane will be top heavyweight in North America. Mark my words, y'all heard it here. I told the guy last night, man, Shane's there. He just ain't had an opportunity to pull these guys because they either want him to pay them to show up or whatever, blah blah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm never gonna be that guy that wants money to lose, like no matter what.
Yeah.
Like
every time
I just ain't gonna
my money, was my own money,
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely. I mean, I'm definitely okay with, paying with maybe, hotel, like for sure, especially if you're coming from like far away, paying for hotel, but asking for guaranteed money for the match, win or lose. I'll never be that guy. That's already telling me that you think you might lose in your mind.
Shane's such a badass. He told him he'd just do it to prove a point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Jaggers is ranked now, right? At what point do we fucking start making these guys lose rank because they're not taking matches?
I mean, I get it. Now if you run across a venue and a big enough event, promoter wants to put up the money like that, I think that's awesome when they do that. But
exactly.
to expect it and think you're supposed to get that every super match, I think that's a little crazy, Now,
exactly.
But what England's doing, he's flying him up. He's like the Dana White of arm wrestling right now. I love it. I mean, he's having $100,000 events he's putting on, but he's got the and he's doing it right. You get paid whether you win or lose, but that's a whole different level of
exactly.
I mean, that's like other countries. This ain't just America. That's somebody, and you have to be invited to something like that. So for the times guys do have promoters that will put up the money, I think it's badass when they do.
Yeah.
If you get you a winning bonus if you do win, but to expect it, I think that's a little too much for every.
Yeah, exactly. And back to like the caliber of the event, like you're right, man. Like England's, like these guys, it takes a little bit more to go overseas. Like just the not only training, but to go overseas, you have to fly over days, if not a week in advance, so you can acclimate, get rid of the jet lag. Then you got to do the promotional shit and all this other stuff. Then you have your event, and then it's crazy,
Yeah.
I mean, that makes more sense. But these guys over here, like,
well, it's probably $2,000 airfare. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like
it's a lot of commitment, but
like 10-hour flights or something, some crazy
layovers and stuff. But over here, Max, I mean, if you're even from Cali, ET came from Cali to North Carolina. That's like you can't get much further apart than that in a country. And he was here 3 days. It took 3 days, and he was back in Cali. You know, like that's easy.
And I know that ET he catches a lot of hate or whatever, the arm wrestle whisperer, whatever. But listen, he's got a lot.
Platform.
He's got a lot of views and a big foundation that's showing off a little bit of the sport.
Yes,
I'm not against him, but I will pull him. I didn't like how him and Joe's match showed. Joe's my dog, so I'm riding for Joe.
Yes, sir.
Go to the hook with me. Hook me.
Hey, honestly, I think we could fucking make that happen, bro. Like, and get some, and like you said, with his following and stuff, and you're the #1 fucking ranked 154 guy in the country right now. And then let's be honest, he's the most popular, not just 154. He's probably one of the most popular arm wrestlers out right now. And I mean, if you sit and think about, let that simmer for a little bit. That's worth a pay-per-view.
I don't really have nothing against him. I know, like I said, I know he catches a lot of hate and everything. I respect his hustle as far as putting out content, and man, to build a big foundation and followers, man, that's pretty impressive as far as considering sport that long. There's guys had their YouTube channels for what, 10 years, and they're still nowhere,
Ryan Bowman. Sorry.
He creates his own problems, man.
Yeah,
like making the redhead community look bad.
Hell, he can weigh 190. I'll weigh 170.
Right. Yes, sir.
Just smash him, dude.
Well, Hunter, man, before we go, dude, is there anything that you would like to let everybody know? I mean, the new 154-pound number 1 ranked arm wrestler in the country, man.
Hey, stay strong and eat cornbread.
Hey, hashtag that shit. Hey, that's gonna catch on right there. Why?
Nah, I appreciate y'all having me. I know we've been talking about it for a while, man. I'm glad to finally get on here and talk with y'all. I was telling the guy last night I plan to sometimes start me up a little YouTube channel, and I'd like to get some people in, like top athletes from different sports, where we actually had a table and sit around with the headphones, and stuff like.
Bro, that would be sick, man. Yeah, that's actually a sick idea. I would love to, like, I mean, you got me sold. You got a follower right here for real. That's something I'm interested in, man.
I like to do, a big foundation for arm wrestling and everything, but I'd like to get top athletes from, like fighters, cornhole players, arm wrestlers, whatever, just to get on here and just like an athlete podcast thing. I think it'd be pretty cool. I won't be able to do all of them in person, but I would like to get a couple. If I could get, 5 of the top guys from 5 different sports all in one room, I think that'd be it.
Yeah.
Bro, that'd be sick, man. I'm telling you right now, that'd be dope. And in case a lot of people don't know, man, this dude right here is not just a badass arm wrestler. This dude's a fucking badass boxer, son. Like, so don't think you can just run up on him when he's not at an arm wrestling table. This motherfucker will light you up quick. Yes,
so you box, Hunter?
What's that?
So you box?
Yeah, I boxed about 6-7 years when I was younger.
Oh yeah, okay. I did too, man.
I did a couple amateur fight stuff when I was like 14, 15, 16 or so. I always done it, and I wrestled all through high school, and I did kickboxing first, and as I got older, I actually was helping run a boxing gym down here in my hometown about 1.5 years ago. And I've been punched in the face by some pretty legit fighters, and I know the different levels of a lot of sports.
Yes, sir. Hey,
Yeah,
and sometimes that's the difference too. Like you got a lot of guys out here who think they can fight, and then there's guys out here who know that they can fight.
Yeah, they haven't been old enough yet to know the difference.
Exactly.
I never had any amateur fights, man. But you know, I was like 11 to about 13, 14. You know, there was a lady that was actually like a boxing champion from my hometown. I'm actually from up north, but from up there, and she had a boxing gym, and one of my buddies got into it, and I just started going there with him, man, and we did a lot of sparring, heavy bag work, and just a lot of footwork drills, and how to throw punches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And so that was one of the biggest things, man. When I was little, I got into it when I was really, really young. I tried karate, didn't really like it, so my dad put me in the full contact, kickboxing and boxing, and man, it taught so much discipline. It ain't all about just learning how to throw a punch or how to take a punch. It teaches so much discipline in your everyday life. I was a little hothead kid, I had an anger problem when I was real little, and it opens your eyes a little more, like I said. The biggest thing I took out of all that was discipline, and I believe if I would have done that, I probably would be the guy who I am now.
Yeah.
I like that. I've been humbled, and I know the difference in levels in a lot of things. So
that's crazy, man. Yeah, that boxing will definitely do that to you. My brother was on the Marine Corps boxing team, and when he got out, same situation with me, dude. I was a troubled child, man. Like I had a temper, anger issue. He got out, got me in the boxing and stuff, man, and that shit calmed me down real quick.
Yeah, like man, I used to get in a lot of trouble, a lot of fights and stuff, and I got into that. When to learn and pick your battles, and some things you can just laugh and you just laugh on about your day, and it don't really bother you, and
yes, sir.
You're prepared to die, but you're also prepared to kill.
Exactly. Hey, like I one of the best things I've ever heard was we are men of violence, not violent men. And that hits hard, man. I love that saying. And
it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war.
Damn right. Yes, sir.
For sure.
Well, dude, it's absolute, man. Like I said, like you tell us all the time, we're always welcome, dude. I would love to have you on as much as we possibly can, man. And as the 3 years I've been in the sport, you've been literally the one guy that I've been chasing. I've also been like implementing everything I do. You're that guy to me. You say you're a sponge around other people. When I'm around you, man, when you're pulling, I'm watching. I'm a sponge, dude. And it's been fucking awesome and amazing to see you just keep getting better and better and better. And I'm like, this guy is already an animal. How much better can he get? And you just never cease to amaze me every time I see you pull, dude. And it's been a pleasure and an honor to watch you grow and to get to this #1 spot. It's like it's movie worthy. And I'm thankful to call you a friend and somebody I get to train with, and now the #1 arm wrestler in the country, bro. It's amazing.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. That definitely means a lot more than you probably think, but I appreciate that. I'm honored to be on here to talk with y'all. I'll do this. I love doing stuff like this. Like I messaged you. I messaged the same thing to Ryan. I said, I shouted y'all out every time. Like and subscribe, my guys. I love what y'all do. I love people that do this. They get arm wrestlers and athletes on here just to kind of talk about it, put a lot of things up in the air. The sport needs this, and
man.
Y'all guys are doing it. Y'all are low. Y'all not far from me, and I've trained with both of y'all. Y'all both great guys. Nothing but love for both of y'all, man. Like I say, y'all are more than welcome. And Donnie, we stay on you about it. You show up, man.
I know, babe. I promise, dude. Hey,
Donnie.
I really I appreciate the dedication. I really appreciate y'all, dude. Like, I know, like you said, I don't know how much it really how much it means to me, but I love that shit. And I really hope that I can show you guys that I am dedicated and that this is something I really fucking want. And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody other than you guys, Carolina Chaos, man. I appreciate it.
I know things happen in life, and it ain't always something that you can do every single week. But like I said, man, make it 2-3 times a month, man, that'd be great. Same with you, Ryan.
Absolutely.
A little further, Ryan, but it'd be awesome to have you there too.
Yes, sir, man.
Donnie, how far are you?
It's about depending on traffic. Almost every time I go, there's a wreck on the route that it takes me, so it's like an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm.
But it ain't shit
I'm
though, man. It's really not shit.
I think I'm like 4 hours and 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
something like that. But like I said, man, I watch you guys every tournament that I'm at. Usually I'm at every tournament y'all are at. And it's just, that's the one thing, besides, everybody on your team is just monsters and winning. The one thing that, a lot of people might not look at, other than the winning and losing is the camaraderie and just the support that you guys give each other, man. And
yeah,
like I said, I mean, it's something I'm kind of looking for. I go to a lot of tournaments by myself, or I can get Donnie to come to a couple with me, but as far as like all the time, teammates, you guys are what a team should be. And it makes me want to be a part of it. So
yeah, man,
those are awesome, man.
That's what builds the foundation of a good team, like a brotherhood. Just you got people that got your back and to support you, and that's what makes your confidence and your true belief in everything, a lot of things you do, man. I'm a big true believer in that. These guys have shown it time after time. That's why I always do my hardest and make sure I stay true to my word to them, to always show the same respect.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out to Carolina Chaos. They're basically, y'all are basically a part of this channel. So we're gonna start. We might as well change the name to Carolina Chaos Arm Wrestling.
Hunter, we need Chad on here, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chad, I don't see a Chad on nothing, man. We need to be the only ones that get them.
Any video you've ever seen of Chad Silver, somebody else has posted.
Right.
I'm a big believer what he says. When you're bad enough and you prove enough, you don't have to show who you are, but other people will.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
and he's damn right, because we talk about that man every episode. Every one of y'all.
It'd be awesome to get him on something like this, getting him taught. He's just not a big social media guy, but anything can happen. So,
Yeah, man. Man, we gotta show our loyalty.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, hey, if y'all haven't, if you don't know who Hunter Noffz is, dude, check this guy out for real. And if you think that you at what it takes in this weight class, 154 pounds, like Hunter said, money fucking talks. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't let that puppy dog mouth override, or don't let that puppy dog ass override that bulldog mouth. So right. Y'all know what's up, man. The Carolina Killer, Hunter Noffz, dude. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
Hey, thank y'all, fellas. I appreciate it. I had a blast.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Man. We'll have you back again.
Always, man. Stay grinding.
Yes, sir. Hey, stay strong. Eat cornbread.
Eat cornbread. Hey,
oh yeah.
That's the hashtag to this video.
Hell yeah,
Stay strong. Eat cornbread.
Stay strong. I got it.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you, bro. Have a good night.
Y'all.
Hey, tell the family we said hey. See you later.
See y'all.
Later, man.